Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. Let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales, a Nassau Community College Foundation production on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Aurora Workman. I am the president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Dr. Lynnda Nadien, a proud graduate of Nassau Community College, and together we'll share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you.
Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to alumni of Nassau Community College interested in sharing their experience here at Nassau Community College, along with the secrets to their success. Look for many new and exciting events on our alumni page, social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and our web pages at ncc.edu/alumni. If you, our listening audience, has any positive news you would like to share about Nassau Community College alumni, engagements, births, graduations, weddings, and or accolades, email us at alumni@ncc.edu and we will shout you out.
I am so proud when I hear about our alumni across Long Island and across the world. But on behalf of the Alumni Association, we'd like to congratulate today's guest, Gerard McCaffery, class of 1971, on receiving citations from the Council on Accreditation in 12 major areas. The Council on Accreditation recently cited MercyFirst for exceptional strength in 12 major areas, including financial management, board governance, administration and management, human resources, performance and quality improvement, behavior support and management, and client rights and training and supervision. So we congratulate you on all those accolades.
Thank you.
And Gerry McCaffery, he's the president of CEO of MercyFirst since 2006. MercyFirst is a nonprofit organization that has ensured that children and families receive the most innovative, effective, and compassionate care available. MercyFirst motto is "Hope is Unstoppable," and it's proud welcome to Lion Tales, Gerry McCaffery, class of 1971.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So before you were CEO at MercyFirst, what work did you do that prepared you for this role?
Well, I've been in this field now for longer than I probably care to remember, but it's probably going on 40 years. So prior to coming to MercyFirst, I was heading up a foster care agency based in New York City called Seaman Society for Children and Families, and I was the CEO there for 10 years. So it was a smaller organization than MercyFirst, but it was my first position as the big cheese. So it helped prepare me for where I am now.
Yep. MercyFirst is known throughout New York. I mean, it's known. So when I saw, wow, I said the CEO is a Nassau Community College graduate. Tell us about MercyFirst. Many people are familiar.
Yeah. So, I mean, the agency goes way back. It was actually founded as an orphanage by the Sisters of Mercy back in 1894. So they bought a large campus. It used to be a farm in Syosset at the time, and there was very little else around there back then. And they also, the sisters back in that same time, 1899, opened up a similar orphanage in Brooklyn called Angel Guardian Home. Oh. And so that was kind of the roots. And then Angel Guardian and St. Mary's, which is what we were called back then on Long Island, came together and was merged back in 2003. So today, the agency provides a range of services in Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk, where we have 16 different locations. And we work with kids who are in foster care, both from the city as well as Long Island. So these are kids who have been removed from their home because of abuse, neglect. Mm-hmm. And we go from ages, infants up to age 21. And we also work with kids who are involved in the juvenile justice system, who kind of comes to us because of some issue that has taken place in the community, and also are in need of services, and they come to us by way of family court. And we also work with kids who have some serious mental health issues. So we have a range of programs. Our campus is in Syosset. It's a 50-acre campus. It's all-inclusive. We have a school on the grounds. We have 116 kids who reside with us there, and they're with us usually for up to about a year. They receive a wide range of mental health services, recreation, art therapy. We have a dog therapy program. We really try to surround them with a lot of caring adults and really try to stabilize them so that they can, get back to being a kid. Yeah.
What are the goals at the end of the year for, a small child, maybe like an 8-year-old? What are your goals for them?
Yeah. So, the age of the child will determine what level of care we provide. So we also provide preventive services, which works with a family in the community where there may have been a child abuse report made,
yes.
But it's determined that with the right amount of support services that maybe that child can remain in the family, in the community. And so we have social workers that work with that family to help stabilize them, to help them with connection with counseling services in the community, job referrals, help with housing, whatever it takes to kind of keep that family going. But if that doesn't work out, we also have family foster care. So we license families who live in the community. We do that in Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island. And these are regular families who have raised their own kids for the most part.
Yeah.
And they're able to work with kids who can still function in the community, still attend a community school, but are not able to reside with their biological family because of issues like domestic violence, substance abuse, mental health issues. But we always work with them with the idea of the main goal is always to seek permanency. So we work with the family to see what brought the child into care in the first place and how do we try to address those issues. The majority of kids who come into foster care end up going back home. We also have a lot of what we call kinship parents. So these are relatives, grandparents, aunts, uncles, could even be an older sibling who steps up to care for that child. So at least if they can't be at home with their parents, they're with family, someone who's knows them and cares for them and not a stranger. And then we also have group homes in the community. We have 11 group homes. We have a couple of mother baby programs. These are teens who were in foster care, got pregnant, but wanted to raise their child. And so we work with them around learning both to care for themselves and grow up, take responsibility for their lives, as well as learn how to be a parent. So it's a wide range of services depending upon the particular needs of each child.
Yeah.
So
and
never
it sounds
dull.
like the kinship plan is important because that places them back with family members.
Yeah, there's nothing romantic about being in foster care. We sometimes think that, this is something that can be a wonderful thing, but it's traumatic and it's difficult for everyone involved.
Yes.
You are listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Aurora Workman along with Dr. Lynnda Nadien, and our guest today is Gerald McCaffery, President and CEO of MercyFirst and a proud alum of Nassau Community College. So as we were just talking about how children are children all placed from another agency, or how does the referral?
Yeah, the only way that a child in foster care comes to us is they have to be placed by either the county, like the Department of Social Services in Nassau and Suffolk, or in New York City, it's called the Administration for Children's Services. So it's all overseen by Family Court. And then we work with Family Court. We work with the public agency that placed a child with us. We work with the family. We work with the foster parents. There's also law guardians who are appointed to oversee the rights of the child. So it's a complicated system, but it's all meant to try to, how do we put our heads together and do what's best for the youngster and for the family.
All right. So you have an MBA from New York University.
Yes, I do. I'm an honorary social worker.
So what attracted you to human services?
Well, initially, when I went to Nassau Community College, a lot of people kind of know what they want to do when they, or even in high school. And I was not one of those. So when I came out of high school, I knew I wanted to, kind of figure out some things for myself. Nassau Community College was a great place. but I really had no idea what I wanted to do. So when I applied to Nassau, I actually was a mathematics major because that was something that I enjoyed and I liked. But when I came to Nassau, I was also exposed to issues, classes in psychology, philosophy, and it really kind of opened up the door to me that maybe mathematics was not what I was going to be pursuing. So I ended up studying those things. I still got my associates in science with a major in math when I was here, but then I went to Stony Brook and decided to get into education. And so I initially was to be a licensed teacher on secondary level. I did that for a little bit, but back in those days it was a real glut of teachers, and so it was very tough to get a permanent job. And so I did it for a while, but
many people who are working now in K-12 arenas that are social workers, they know of the work of MercyFirst. So how much engagement does the CEO have with the families and the social workers? I mean,
my job is mostly the business side of MercyFirst. So, we have about almost 600 employees, social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists. We have youth support counselors, the people who work with our kids in the residential programs. We have, fiscal department, human resources, information technology, quality improvement. So there's a lot of pieces that go into this work. It's very, it's similar to healthcare in many ways. It's it's heavily regulated. We deal with public funds. 98% of our budget is public money from the city, the counties, New York State Department of Health, the feds. So there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that the money is used for what it's supposed to be.
And does the federal government hold you accountable as the CEO, or state and local? How does
I think everyone holds us accountable. I have a board of trustees who I work with. They also hold me accountable. So it's a complicated situation, but it's also incredibly rewarding.
Yes.
I mean, we also more recently, the last couple of years, we started working with a lot of the children coming up from Central America. So it's been in the news quite a bit over the last few years. We started that in 2014. So these are youngsters from Central America who are looking to flee gang violence and threats of violence from the community where they live, and they come to our southern border. And MercyFirst is one of the agencies that the federal government will place these children with until we can kind of sort through, do they have family in the United States? What is going to be the best plan for them? So we do that program both on our campus in Syosset as well as a couple of the sites in the community. So everyone is always checking us out. We had the federal government out last week for a couple of days, going through case records, meeting with kids, talking with staff. But for me is, while we're talking about the business side of things, you also have to remain in tune with who you're doing this work with.
Right. So, And what skills would you say have made you the most successful at MercyFirst?
One is that, when I always tell the story that when I started doing this work, I started working in a group home for kids, and I loved it. It was like being a teacher. But, kind of life skills was what I was teaching. But in about 6 months, I decided that I could maybe run the place better than my boss. So that's what got me into administration. But, I think what you have to do is you have to be very sensitive to the needs of other people, both your staff and the kids. Yes. You have to make sure that you remain focused on the mission of the agency. You're always balancing off the money you have to work with the needs of the people that you're working with. And there's always more to do than the money you have available. So it's always a balancing act about how do you try to make best use of the resources that you have. And end the year with a balanced budget. Otherwise, you're not going to be around.
Right. So and are you in control of your own budget, like in terms of allotment of funds for
well,
children?
as much as one is ever in control of anything. We certainly, work with the government agencies around funding. And certainly how we spend it is in large part our call, but then we're accountable for how we do that.
You were listening to Lion Tales. Today's guest is the president and CEO of MercyFirst, with almost 40 years of experience leading and managing not-for-profit agencies, and he is a proud alumni of Nassau Community College, Gerard McCaffery. My name is Lynnda Nadien, along with Aurora Workman, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihavepreddiabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're